This is the 2025 Mercedes Benz GLS 580. Is it a great luxury three-row midsize SUV option besides being a mouthful? Today we're going to go over the details in our video. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. We're at Mercedes Benz of Shreveport. If you want to know more about this particular model, check out the link down in the description of the video. And the thing I like here is that as we look at the front end, you're going to have that classic look with the nice large Mercedes Benz logo right here. But for those of you that are maybe not fans of chrome, you have a different finish right here. Hopefully that shows up nicely in the bright Louisiana sunshine. That's always a good thing. As we come in here a little bit closer and take a look at the headlight housing, obviously everything is going to be LED. The headlights, the daytime running lights, and the turn signal indicators. Also, as we move our way down here, everything is functional. The air is going to come into this area. There's actually an active air curtain right here. I don't know that you can see my hand through there or see the daylight, but that does actually allow for air to flow through. Going to help your aerodynamics, help your gas mileage, all that good stuff. Very nice, very useful. Nice look with the hood. We're going to have another Mercedes-Benz badge right here. Quite a bit going on with the design of the hood, but it's not an overload. I like the lines here. The thing that I like most is that you don't have any fake vents like you do on some other vehicles out there that compete with this model. 4MATIC all-wheel drive, so you're going to have that great traction out there on the road, especially for those of you that deal with a lot of snow and ice throughout the year. More often than not, that is going to be useful. These are the 22-inch wheels. And let's talk usability as far as your side view mirrors go. So here's what we're going to have. I'm going to hit the button real quick just to let you see the turn signal indicators right there. They're going to be built in. They're going to be power folding. I know that's a big deal for a lot of people. They're also going to be heated. And you will also find your blind spot monitoring built in to those side view mirrors. Here is your remote. We're going to have lock, unlock. You'll have your panic button and you can open and close your power tailgate. Now, the only thing you'll notice that's missing on the remote itself is going to be remote start. That will be in the Mercedes Me app. And as far as your door handles go, we're going to have a combination of our body color and the chrome finish. I think that works quite well there. Roof rails are going to be up top so you can buy the crossbars and greatly increase your cargo capacity if you need to. It gives you that extra space up there to take advantage of. We're going to have our rear privacy glass. It's going to help out not only to help everybody stay concealed back there if they want to say, oh, I don't want anyone to see me sitting back here, but it also will help to reduce the amount of heat coming into the interior, especially if you live here in Northwest Louisiana where we do, where it's nice and hot. I don't know if that's nice or not, but hot is better than cold in my opinion. We'll come back here to the rear. You're going to see things such as the 4MATIC logo. We told you this is 4MATIC, Mercedes-Benz jargon for all-wheel drive. And we're going to have LED taillights back here as well. So get that to come on for you right there a little bit. Kind of hard to see in the bright Louisiana sunshine, but that is definitely going to get the job done. Now the rear roof or rear window wiper back here, a lot of the time I like to see those concealed away inside of the rear roof spoiler, but I can't really say anything against that because there's just not room up there on this particular model. So we'll have to let that go this time. Under the hood is the 4-liter bi-turbo V8. This is a mild hybrid powertrain, by the way, putting out a very strong 510 horsepower and 538 pounds-feet of torque. All that's going to be mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. With all that horsepower and torque and the size of the GLS 580, what can you expect to find as far as your MPGs go? Well, let's see what the window sticker tells us. We're looking at 14 city, 19 highway, 16 combined, and 6.2 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. That's if you're really careful with your right foot. Gas tank size comes in at 23.8 gallons. You can drive 333 miles on a single tank of gas in the city and 452 miles out on the highway. And one more thing I wanted to show you that I didn't mention earlier in the video on your doors, the fact that they are soft closed doors. That's not only going to be on the back doors, but also here on the front doors, as you can see right there. Towing capacity comes in at an impressive and useful 7,700 pounds. You can see your tow hitch receiver right down here. Also, you can also see that by me waving my foot down there, I didn't mean for that to happen at that point, but we have the hands-free lift gate back here. Your cargo capacity ranges between 17.4 cubic feet up to 84.7 cubic feet. You can see how everything looks with the seats laid flat. Now, the thing I like here is that we have, number one, the set of switches right here. That's going to be for your middle row seats. So when I pull on those, here's what's going to happen. Both seats are going to come up. We'll let that come on up just like that. And over on the right-hand side, we're going to have the same thing. Let me come through the shot right here. And we're going to do this and let the rear seats come up. The good thing about it is that it's quick. It doesn't take a long time. And I like that I don't have to hold those buttons down, those switches down to raise or lower the seats. You'll also find the first aid kit here. If you ever need it, it's nice to know that you have it. And something that brings some peace of mind is what we find here under the floor, and that is the presence of a spare tire. You can't go wrong where that is concerned. And you'll find some cargo lighting back here on this side, a little bit over there, and also kind of hard to see maybe, but there is the 12-volt power outlet if you need to power anything. And here we go with the second and third row details. First of all, let's talk about what you'll find up here in the roof area, the nice large panoramic sunroof. You can have the shade drawn forward to help out with that if you need it. That front portion will open if you want to. And how about your door panels? Plenty of room with the armrest. It's nice and large and nice and comfortable. Beneath that is going to be the nice large door bin. Plenty of space there if needed to store, well, whatever will fit. You can also stick a nice large bottle down there. And up here on the upper portion right behind the speaker, you're going to find, first of all, the control for the multi-stages of the heated seats. And then right behind that, you'll notice in the shape of the seat, all of your seat controls. So that means you can move the seats back and forth and adjust everything just like you can with the front seats. Now, one thing that is different here as we work our way to the interior, there's a switch over here on the passenger side seat, and all I have to do is pull up on that switch, and here's what's going to happen. We're going to show you this in real time. Now, you'll notice the passenger seat and the front seat kind of gets up and out of the way, and that allows for gaining access to and from the third row. So let me see, how easy is this to get into back here? We'll do the best we can to show you what's going on. So I'm going to do this. Now, here's what's interesting, is you have to hold this button down to get the seat back. So let's see how long this takes. And obviously I can show you what we have leg room wise. Let me move this headrest out of my way a little bit right there. Now, this seat is not as far back, but you can kind of see where my legs are right there. If it was back as far as it can go, it would be a little bit tight back here, but the good news about that is that these seats can move back and forth. We'll also find, I know you probably can't see it as well, but a couple of USB ports right here. Good to see that. You're going to have the same thing on both sides, a little bit of space in front of that, and we're also going to have the cup holder. And one thing I didn't talk about in the third row is what you have right here. This is going to be the third row as well, the air conditioning vent. I like that roof-mounted vent because it's closer to the passenger's face. That works well. But you'll also find one right there on the door pillar. We're going to have those here as well. So you have a total of 6 vents for the second row area alone. You've got the 2 here on the rear of the center console, the 2 on the door pillars, and the 2 in the roof line. So quite a bit going on where that is concerned. Very comfortable back here, tons of space in front of me, above me, around me, very comfortable. The only thing I wish was different here was the length of the armrest. I wish they came out a little bit further. I guess it depends on how long your arm is, but you can see where my arm is right here. That's where the armrest ends, but that's just the way it is. And you can adjust the height via this little control right here, the wheel right there. If you want to adjust the height, raise or lower that. And speaking of adjustments, we also have the adjustments for our climate control right here. If you want to take advantage of that, you can adjust fan speed, temperature, all that good stuff. And underneath here, there are the USB ports. There are USB ports all throughout the interior here in the GLS 580. But the real main attraction here is the front seat, because there is some awesome technology up there to talk about. Let's hop up there and I'll tell you more. How about the sticker price? I know a lot of you'd like to know, but if someone asks in the comments section, tell them to watch the whole video because they obviously didn't. $122,285. Let's see what else you get for the price beyond what we've already shown you. Over there on the passenger side door, we're going to have some extra accessories. Not only the seat controls, but you have seat memory right there behind that. There's going to be 3 different settings. And then you will also find the settings for the heated and ventilated seat functionality. That's going to be very nice to have as far as that goes. And you can see some of the ambient lighting. Nice to see that. That's something that Mercedes Benz does better, in my opinion, than any other automaker on the market. Now, we'll also find something simple here, a locked glove box. I'm not going to unlock that right now, but there is a good bit of space in there. So let me grab the camera here real quick and we'll move over here and I'll show you what's on the driver's side door. Again, there are the adjustments or the controls for your heated and ventilated seats, and you can see everything else for the seats right there. If you want to fold the mirrors in yourself, you can push that button right there if you're in a situation where you need to do that. We push that button. And here's the control not only for your power parking brake, but also for your exterior lighting, your headlights and your taillights. You can just leave that on auto if you want to, no big deal. You have one touch up, one touch down with all 4 windows. You can lock those windows if you want to. And then we also have the control right here for your tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. And as far as the steering wheel goes, your steering wheel mounted controls, you can see what all we have here for cruise control and all the other things. You can control the center screen right here. You can also control the screen for the driver's display here as well. So pretty nice to use. If you need to hit that home button right there, you can. And here's what we can do with that. If I want to change the overall look, I can do that. If I want to have navigation up there on the driver's display, very easy to deal with. And we'll also find the controls over here. Really a multitasker because you can control everything with your windshield wipers. And believe it or not, you can also let people around you know what you're doing by using what is known as your turn signals. I have a full tutorial on how to use that for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about. Yes, you can laugh. It's okay. There's your shifter. I can't really say anything sarcastic about that. And I'm going to hand the camera back to Jamie here real quick. And we're going to take a look at the upper console. Here is the control for your sunroof. Depending on what you need to do, you can open the shade or open the sunroof. You've got your lighting right there as far as your map and reading lights go. Several different options here with your buttons. I think you know what all is up there, so we're not going to spend too much time on that area. But where I really like to spend some time is down here on the center screen because there's a lot going on. It is a touch screen, obviously. There's your navigation. That answers a question that I know a lot of people have. You really already know that it has built-in navigation. You also have the ability to wirelessly pair your smartphone. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. All that good stuff is here. Here are some of your other features. We'll go out of that just to show you what all is here. Your apps. How about comfort? Let's go into that for just a minute. If I can get that to stay on the screen. There we go. So here's what we have with the massage seats. So if we want to turn that on, you have your different options as far as that goes. We can go over here to seat, just give you a quick look at what's here. You can see your seat kinetics. And you might have noticed there was no lumbar support control with the seats themselves. That's because it's located right here within the screen. What do you think about that? There's a lot in the screen to deal with. Do you like that? Do you not? What do you think? So your ambient lighting, there's a lot to talk about here. You can adjust your brightness. If it's too bright, you can adjust that down depending on what you want. Out of your 1 out of 10 settings, you can even turn that off if you wanted to. We'll go back here. We can go to colors because there are a ton of different options where that is concerned. And depending on what you want and how you want things to look, it's going to be kind of hard to see that, unfortunately, for us today. But we'll give you that look real quick. But we can also go right here. You have 64 different colors. And if you don't believe me, there is the number, 64. So there are 64 colors to choose from, depending on what your mood is or situation, what you like the interior to do as far as that goes. That's one of my favorite features that Mercedes-Benz offers is the ambient lighting. Now we'll go over here. You have your off-road capabilities. Yes, this Mercedes-Benz GLS 580 is capable off-road. There's a lot of information you can have here that you can go through and look at depending on what you need to know about. We can turn several different features on and off. You can check your surroundings, see what's going on. I like that. Just one of the nice features that's here and available with this Mercedes Benz. And we'll go over here to devices. I don't have anything paired, but this is where you would find all of that. If you want to connect your phone, do all that good stuff right here, or see what is connected. You also have your settings right here, and there are a lot of things you can go through as far as your driving and collision avoidance. You see some of those features right there as far as your active brake assist and your lane keeping assist, also your blind spot assist. So some of those great driving aids that I know a lot of you are looking for as far as your vehicle goes. You can see some of the other things here. There's a lot of sub menus here, but you know what? It's still very simple to learn and use. You can also make a lot of changes with the lighting inside and out. How about system? If you want to go right there, you can see what's under system. So a lot of customization available here. There's info. And one other thing I want to do here, I'm going to go down here. Let's first of all take a look at what we have down here. Now, if you're like Monk and you don't want fingerprints on your touch screen, you don't have to have fingerprints. You can use the trackpad right here to use that. And you just push the button right there if you want to go home, button right there to go back, whatever you want to do. There's your volume control, all these good things. You can see what all is here. I'm going to push the button right here, and we're going to go back to the screen up there and show you our multiple camera views. I really like this, nice and bright, plenty of different options depending on what you want to see and where you want to see. You can go to our front view, you can go to our rear view. You can see everywhere you need to, all around your Mercedes Benz. That's a very nice feature. And we also have our different driving modes here. So depending on what you want, you've got sport, and have comfort right there. There's your off-road mode if you want to do that. We're going to go back up here to individual, where you can individualize everything depending on what you want. You can see everything right here. So not everything has to necessarily be in sport mode. You can use comfort for some, whatever it is you want. So just a few little things there, some nice little areas to make your GLS as you want it to be. Here's your controls for your air conditioning. So the good thing about that, you might have been thinking, oh man, I bet the air conditioning controls are in the screen too. No, they're not. You can control it right here if you want to. No big deal where that is concerned. And then right here, we're going to have our wireless charging pad, and you can see a couple of USB options over there on the right-hand side as well. We'll also find our cup holders right here. We're going to keep those drinks in place when you're driving down the road. Going to have your volume control right here and some of our other one-touch features. Now, I'm going to push the button right here, and what comes up as far as our functions go, we're just going to run through a few different things here. You do have a nice bright head-up display or your HUD right there, and you can also see if you want to go into car wash mode, you can do that. I'm not going to cover every single little feature that's there, but just to show you what's here real quick, like I say, there's a lot here, but that doesn't mean it's complicated or difficult to understand or learn. Also, we can raise and lower the height of the vehicle. Now, we can feel that it's raising right now, but you'll just have to take my word on that, that's what's happening. You can also lower it back down if you need to, depending on what you need to do. Very nice right there. And the oh crap handles, kind of an interesting spot for that. There's a few of them in the conventional place up here above the windows and also down here on the center console. So kind of a neat thing. You can see the ambient lighting right there. That'll probably give you the best look at the ambient lighting that we can in today's video. And last but not least, as far as the interior goes, how about get Jamie's arm out of the way right there. There is your center console, quite a bit of space in there, and you can remove this tray right here if you want to. If that's in the way, you can remove that and get everything ready to go for whatever it is you need. You can slide that around, put that in place. Pretty nice little setup as far as that goes. Close those doors up. Plenty of room here as far as the driver's seat goes. It's fully adjustable, so whether you're 6 feet tall or 5 feet tall, or 6 feet plus or 5 feet minus, you should be able to adjust everything to where you're nice and comfortable here, which I'm about to do because we're going to hop out on the road for a test drive. Okay, here we go on the test drive. We're going to get out here on the road and give it a little bit of gas, not too much, because one of you may be buying this, so we don't want you to think we're pushing it too hard. But I can tell you what, No trouble at all. When you need to get up to speed, you will not have any trouble. Even in sport mode, or whether comfort mode, sport mode, whatever it is, you're going to have no trouble at all getting down the road, passing people when you need to pass them, getting up to speed, a little bit above the speed limit when merging onto the interstate. Hint, hint to some of you local drivers here in Northwest Louisiana and probably other places too. But that is a given with all that horsepower under the hood. But the nice thing is that's balanced out with plenty of comfort. The seats themselves are nice and comfortable. So much adjustability built in here. Like I said earlier in the video, no matter your height, you can set things to where you will be nice and comfortable with the seating position itself as far as the driver's seat goes and as far as the steering wheel goes. Very easy to see out of, but don't forget you have those great features such as your blind spot monitoring that are going to make it even easier to stay safe out on the road. And we're going to let this traffic clear here a little bit, and then we'll make our turn. You're going to have a nice tight turning radius. Not a problem for a mid-size SUV. I'd say that it turns quite nicely, very tight. We'll get on it just a little bit here. Definitely handles the corners quite nicely, although I'm not going terribly fast. But one way or another, a very well-balanced driving experience. Plenty of room in the front and the second row seats. Maybe not quite as much going on with the third row as you have with the first two, but obviously there are some options to make that work a little bit better as far as adjustability goes. And everything's easy to get to. I like that as far as your technology goes, your screen and everything here. You also have the MBUX here where you can ask Mercedes. I'm not going to say it too loud because she might respond. All kinds of questions, give all kinds of commands. Very nice. You can set everything up however you want to with that. That's really enjoyable to use. A lot of benefit there. You can ask pretty much any question you want. In fact, you can even ask, what can I ask you? And you'll get an answer to that question. I've done that before. Gas pedal and brake pedal, easy to manage, very responsive steering. I'd say overall, the classic Mercedes-Benz experience, you definitely get what you pay for if you're going after this GLS 580. So tell me what you think about the 2025 Mercedes-Benz GLS 580. Is it a great luxury mid-size SUV option? I think it is, but I'm curious to know what you think. I'd like to say a special thanks to my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Shreveport for loaning us this GLS for the day so we could tell you all about it. And a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give us the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit the like button. That's very helpful. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. And if you would please, share this video on your timelines on social media so other people can see it. If you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and we'll see you there.